Guys, how's it going? I just wanted to give my perspective on the US election because I don't think a lot of people know what I'm about to say. So basically, I think the media is giving everyone shit. Everyone's being lied to by the media. How do I know this? Because I work in the media. I often get called out for dishing accidental bullshit. And I am happy to be called out on it because I want nothing but the truth and engaging and honest content for you guys that's fun, but also is serious and represents everything in context. So basically, I think that everyone's being lied to, and I think that it's pretty evident because there's been nothing but bullshit being delivered by the media on social media. There's nothing but a left-wing ideology being delivered through social media. The way that you know this is because there is a lack of impartial scrutiny on both sides, and only now, because the picture has been painted, that now the right-wing sources are coming up and scrutinizing both sides. Because I tell you what, for me personally, I early on was not a Trump fan, but then I was thinking, how come this guy is in such a big position? If he's so bad, why wasn't there anyone else being party leader? Okay? Because when you see it, Trump's copping a lot of shit, and I think every elected official that's there to serve the people should be copping a lot of shit, because it is their job to serve the people and not their job to serve the big corporations. But yet, you know, you look at the scrutiny from both sides, and you look at, say, like the news coming out from Bernie Sanders and how he's saying we need to tax the big corporations big money in order to pay for a healthcare system for all. But, you know, when you look at it from an impartial view, you look at Trump not wanting lobbyists in being the key decision makers in order to influence his decisions. Because at the end of the day, after doing some digging, Trump, I can see, wants to make a lot of decisions for himself. And so, excuse me, I think that's very fair. So I'm the same. I want to make a lot of decisions for myself. And I hate it that when people are saying, like, no, you must make decisions based on what the world thinks. But then I'm thinking, like, how can someone be so bad but then not have any good? Like, isn't that what Hitler was like as well, that he wanted to just kill the Jews? But let's put into perspective. Hitler invented the Volkswagen. How many people are watching this driving a Volkswagen buggy or a Beetle? And then also, how many people don't know that the economic growth during Hitler's reigns was through the roof? Record employment by German citizens, record economic growth. But yet he was so bad for humanity. So, you know, like, we can remember Hitler as being that person that wanted to just kill the Jews. Then also kill other people that didn't believe in what he thought in. So, you know, there's two sides to every story here. And so I'm thinking, based on historical evidence, how can someone be so bad and not have any good? You know, that's why I'm not a huge believer in what the media is dishing out. And because I work in the media, I think that a lot of people are being lied to and they believe the lie. Like, for example, with the whole thing about Jacob Blake. Like, how do we know that the whole thing is racist when the footage came about off 5 seconds of footage? Like, how do we know? Because as far as what I see a police officer shooting a person, not a white police officer shooting a black man. That's the biggest issue that I see. How do we know that's racist? Okay? We can say it's racist until we know a bit more about the circumstances. Because when people say, oh, racism exists based off that, that's clearly racism. We don't know that. Honestly, that's someone projecting their ideas onto you by saying, oh, it's racism because of this and that. But how do we know it's actually racism when there's not enough context given for us to form our own decisions? I'm a huge believer in individual intellect. So you guys that are watching this can make decisions for yourself because you guys are capable. I am not a big believer of us versus them. I am a believer that everyone has the right to make their own decisions. And when I've been seeing a lack of scrutiny from both sides, impartial, I've been thinking like, holy fuck, what is this shit? Like, surely this guy isn't purely evil. Because you look at Hitler, he killed the Jews. However, rapid, sky-high economic growth, built great hospitals for the German people, built the Volkswagen, an affordable car, and look, you see, that vehicle is still around in this day and age. Then also the huge investment in scientific growth, and that after World War II, Russia and the USA were really fighting to grab the best intellectual brains from Germany and claim it for themselves. And long story short, that's a whole nother discussion on how that led to the Cold War starting. Okay? So that was a huge thing, is actually the positives that came out of Nazi Germany. You know, but then every rational human being is like, well, actually, no, there's no positives in Nazi Germany because of how many innocent lives were lost. And at the end of the day, that's where I stand at. I stand at the big discussion of how many lives will be positively or negatively affected. Because you go back to 2016 when you look at Trump calling out Hillary Clinton taking money from lobbyists in Saudi Arabia. But one thing Trump said is that Saudi Arabia, they throw homosexuals off buildings. I think that is awful. That's disgusting, and that should not happen. Because at the end of the day, everyone that is a little bit different should be treated as equals. For example, if I'm a leader, I've got a loaf of bread. Just because I was discriminated against, my whole family in the past was discriminated against personally as because I'm a Jew, does that mean I'm entitled to that loaf of bread more than other people? How about just getting some respect for those people that just want to live a good life and sharing that loaf of bread between those people? Honestly, that's not too hard. And that's the thing, like how I would see equal opportunity of outcome versus equal opportunity is different, because just because I'm oppressed doesn't mean that I am more deserving. At the end of the day, we've all got to make the best of this world as best as we can. And if we choose to go back to the past to justify our stance in the future, when we've moved so far ahead that no longer there's no more context to justify our reasoning, that puts a lot of people out. And at the end of the day, going to the past to justify the future, can only do so much. And the thing is, what my friends and family and what I would be after in the USA, as I've got a lot of connections to the USA, through family, and all that is equal opportunity of outcome when you get a big pool of people that all want the same thing. And it doesn't matter if you're white, black, red, or brown. It doesn't matter. That we all just get treated equal. And basically, through social media, through the news, I do not see equal scrutiny of both sides. And that's from me working as someone that produces a lot of media content impartially, practically, and proficiently, that I get called out for misrepresenting the facts, and I see these things all the time in the media on things that I've learned in the industry, and I just think that everyone's being lied to, because the media, at the end of the day, has to make money, because at the end of the day, they've got to draw an amount of viewers to their content, listeners, whatever touch point that they reach their audience with, in order to satisfy those that pay their wage. Anyway, guys, I hope you like that. I have more videos coming up for you guys in later dates. After the election, I'll be throwing in my 2 cents worth, and I'll be talking about a lot of other things. I'll be creating podcasts. I'll be creating a lot of things. Basically, a lot of my content is trying to be as impartial as possible, because you guys aren't silly, and I think you guys should be treated equally and fairly. Doesn't matter what side of the political spectrum or what your beliefs are. I think you guys just need to just learn and learn and learn, and I look forward to bringing you guys a lot of things to consider some food for thought and everything else. Anyway, guys, I'll see you in the next video.